Let's find out if it's possible to fire 1 million arrows per second. That's going to mean a lot of attack speed upgrades. We start out at 1.8 every second. Our first upgrade is going to get us 2.25 per second, which represents roughly a 20% attack speed increase, and that might keep stacking on top of itself to just get faster and faster and faster. So even a basic upgrade is going to give me from 2.25 to 2.55, so we're already going way up. And while we're at it, let's have some more. We're almost at 3 per second now. So in total we have almost a 50% increase already. We've gone up like 3 levels. There are going to be times when you get things like piercing shots, which is a legendary upgrade. Since there's no attack speed, we'll take that. And Mr. Hook Hands has arrived. We're shooting very quickly, so we're able to hurt him. But we should get a few damage upgrades at some point, because as weak as he is, I don't want him to get his hooks on me. And it would feel better if we could actually one-shot morons. There's no attack speed here, so we're going to take more damage. That's going to take some 50 to 65, so that's actually a big one. And then we're just going to fire into the crowd, hoping to hit as many morons as possible. Okay, since we have a pretty basic attack speed upgrade, we're going to take a damage one for now just to get a little bit more. So we're at 80. We went from 50 to 80 damage. That's going to carry us through for now. Look at the difference. We can also add some damage this way. For each current health, get bigger, deal 10% damage, but move 5% slower. So we're going to be slower, but we're going to deal a lot more damage. We're up to 120, but we're going to have so much attack speed, it's not going to matter. And look at all the coins on the ground. Now we're going back to attack speed. Unless we don't have any options, so we'll just take this. Your critical damage is 100% more. Okay, we're not getting any good options there, so we're going to re-roll, and we got a little bit more attack speed. I'll take it. We're up to 3.15 per second. At 120 damage, we're now fighting a potato. He's dead. So we're going to take swift bullets. Each of your projectiles moves between 30 and 70% faster. So they're going to fire out of there like a rocket and get to the target faster and kill them quicker. So the damage and everything is good enough that I can just sit here and we're killing enemies way out on the peripherals. Which means I have to slowly walk around and pick that stuff up. Okay, we're going to take a little bit more attack speed. It's a shame we're not getting higher quality upgrades there, but whatever. Must have heard me, we're getting a slightly better one. 3.9 per second. And it definitely is feeling a lot more machine gun-like already. So if we pick this up now from 3.9 to 4.2, so that added 0.3 per second. So I am right in how it works. The more attack speed we have is going to simply add like 20% to that. So if we're firing 100 arrows per second, that's going to turn up to 120 arrows per second. 1,000 turns into 1,200. So the bigger that number gets, the bigger the upgrades get. And that's really good news, because it's been a little while since I've broken something. At least we're getting consistent speed upgrades. That added another 0.3 per second, which means we're going to fight this guy who's almost as quick as we are. So we need to be careful about our movement speed. I do have the dash, which I probably should utilize more, but I am kind of stupid. Your projectiles slow down any enemies they touch by 70% for 1 second. That's going to be good against bosses and mini bosses. Since I'm very slow, I'll hit them, then they won't be able to catch up to me. I wish I could re-roll these, so we're going to go ahead and take a little bit more damage for now. 120 to 135, which is enough to murder all these cowboys very easily. Okay, here's 2 legendary upgrades. Gain much more damage. No, we want gain much more attack speed from 4.8 to 5.8. That added an extra arrow per second. I just realized I think we're the bad guys. Our bounty is going up, probably because we're murdering everyone in the Old West. We're just wandering around the desert murdering everyone. They're getting mad and coming for us, so we just murder more of them. I'm also going to increase my crit chance by 7%. That'll take us from 5 to 12%, so it goes from 1 in 20 to 1 in 15. At the rate we fire arrows, we'll get some crits off. Gain a lot more attack speed from 5.8 to 6.4. That's a good one too. 6.5 arrows every second. I'm pretty sure at this point we can't hold still. We gotta dodge projectiles, or try to. But it makes it kind of easy when you're firing this many arrows. As long as you're hitting the things that can fire projectiles at you, it's kind of laughable so far. Gain a little bit more attack speed. That added 0.3 by itself, so that feels good. The ratios might slow down after a while. At first they were scaling with me, they might have stopped scaling. We'll keep an eye on that as we go. Perfect, just what I'm looking for. Shoot 4 times faster but deal 3 times less damage. 27 arrows per second already. And we're still doing 45 damage. So if we get more attack speed now, we're going from 26.8 to 28.6. It does still scale with me. We just added almost 2 arrows per second on a weak upgrade. So we will get some crits out of that. We do need to add a little bit more damage on, but damage is super easy to put back on. I think I basically created a minigun with a bow and arrow somehow. I'm going to raise my maximum health by 2. This will slow me down, but that will add damage. That added 6 damage. We are getting big. Therefore also slow, so I really need to be careful of that. I might need to add some movement speed at some point. I'm just going to hope and pray that our damage keeps us safe. We got a boss coming in already. So we're going to take more attack speed from 28.6 to 29.8. That at 1.2 arrows per second. So let's see. Yeah, he's over there. So we'll go ahead and shoot him with all of our arrows. His health is dropping. Yeah, we need more damage, but the attack speed is perfectly fine. We just need to be careful not to get too close to any of them, because it's hard to dodge when you're this slow. Oh yeah, we slow him down too. That's what the down arrows are. Every time we hit them, they're down by 75% movement speed, so they're basically immobilized. I'm actually going to put a little bit of damage on, so we'll go from 51 to 57. I think our damage upgrades have been a little bit neutered as well, but that's okay. That's still a pretty big increase. That was over a 10% increase. I think basic damage increases are 15%, so just add 15%, so the bigger the number, the bigger the upgrade. Oh, turns out that thing died. I was doing math in my head, so I wasn't paying attention. Every 30 shots, your next shot is slow, huge, deals 3 times more damage, and cannot be stopped. Well, we fire almost 30 per second, so once per second we're getting a big bullet like that. It apparently can't be stopped, so I'm not really sure where it's going. I think we can follow them along and stack them if we felt so inclined, but for now it's funny just to let them go. We're probably going around plowing through people's houses and into cities and just keep going and murdering everyone. More attack speed, 31 per second, so we're firing over 1 big bullet per second now. We also need multi-shot and ricocheting arrows, then we're really firing a lot. There's a special guy. He might have actually dodged the big bullet. He didn't dodge that one. Ooh, we're definitely going to take this. You have plus 5% crit chance for each ready-to-use stack of dashes. I haven't really been dashing a lot. That would have been an ironically prime example of when to use a dash, but we're going to get an extra 15% crit chance out of that because I have 3 dashes. And that's just going to add on a lot of damage. Speaking of damage, I'm going to take a damage upgrade because we got a blue one. Now we went from 57 to 65. Here comes another special guy, and we slow him down. That actually works really good, because then we can just sit still like that and be lazy. They can't get close to us because they have to walk through our bullets to get here. Your projectiles bounce 2 more times. Projectiles that bounce do so in the opposite direction. So we should get 1 pierce and then a bounce, so the arrows are going to go into the crowds of people and bounce around, and it's going to get very chaotic. More attack speed. 33 per second. I remember I was excited when we hit 3 per second. Now we're at 11 times that. And all of our bouncy arrows, this is going to be so good. And if we manage to get something that's chance on hit effect, that will also be good because we hit so many things. Very, very uncolored upgrade. So we'll just take a little bit of attack speed, which is still very, very good. It's like the game knows what I'm trying to do and just doesn't really want me to do it any faster than I have to. So we're going to gain a little bit more attack speed. That's still at 1.2 per second. That's still bananas. There's a guy throwing bombs everywhere. He runs very quickly, but we slow him down by 70%, so he's mostly just walking in giant bullets. Permanently augments your damage by 20%. Your projectiles are 30% slower. We already had a booster to make them quicker, so that just added a lot of damage without really hurting anything. Plus, we don't really have a projectile anymore, we have a laser. I'm going to turn my crit chance up just a little bit more, so it's at 19 at its base. We're going to add 15% with our dash stacks, so it'll be 1 in 3 shots is a crit. Generally, at least. We'll add more dash and more health to get more damage out of things. For now, we're not struggling. Okay, we're going to actually put a lot more damage on a purple upgrade. I just can't take that over a gray upgrade right now. That took us from 78 to 92. So that's gonna help. I don't know what I just touched, but it hurt. Probably a red ball. There's a man throwing red balls at me. Okay, I just walked into another big red ball because I'm stupid. The small ones I can see, the big ones for some reason I ignore. Okay, we're gonna kill the mouse with the backpack as well. Exactly what I was just thinking. Permanently raises your attack speed by 40%, but half your shots are less precise. Yeah, that's fine. So up to 50 arrows per second. I mean, they're not as precise, but they do bounce when they finally hit something, and they pierce and stuff, and there'll be so many enemies soon anyway. We'll always have something to shoot. We're already into the blue coin, so that's a nice easy experience for us. More attack speed, that put us over 50. We're up to 52 arrows per second now. They're almost firing out. Maybe it's just the accuracy thing, but they're firing out almost side by side at this point. They're coming out so fast. The red ball firing morons are kind of annoying because I constantly have to move, and I'm not really here to think. I'm just here to press upgrade. I mean, look at how many big bullets we're firing. We're getting almost 2 of those per second now, so we may be able to spray those out in all directions, especially if we get multi-shot. There's a sheriff coming. I think he's going to regret this choice. Hello? Have I seen you before? I don't know if I remember this. Okay, well, he's charging at me. We're slowing him down by 70%, so he just kind of looks like an idiot. More attack speed. We're up to 53.5 arrows per second, which is a lot of damage for whatever this thing is. He just kind of buries his head in the ground and walks toward me very slowly. It's not a very effective strategy. Well, surprisingly, he's dead. Okay, this will be good too. Deal your raw damage as area of effect each time your projectile inflicts a critical strike. Maximum 3 explosions per projectile. But we have a lot of projectiles. And we have a 1 in 3 crit chance, so there's going to be a lot of explosions. So that's going to be good against the hordes of enemies, and the green coins are starting to show up. The sound is already broken. It just gives a few kind of spray sounds of arrows, but not continually. You can't keep up with this many. There's also a floating tentacle creature. I would prefer it if that didn't get too close to me, but we'll see what happens. I think I also see a zombie with a katana. I don't think he's going to be able to get overly close to us. I managed to get a little ways in. Luckily, we do still slow him. I'm probably just going to take this to gain 4 rerolls for upgrade choices. That way we can be sure to get some good ones. They're going to get harder and harder to get the stronger we get. And here's our reroll choices. Since they're all gray, I think we can do better. Well, these aren't, we're going to do, again, there we go. We got a blue one. That took us up to 56 arrows per second. Eventually the game will understand what we're trying to do and maybe it'll help me out. There's another special guy with the health bar. We'll fire some big bullets into him while avoiding some orbs, and he's dead. This is a good one. You also shoot behind you, so we just doubled our arrow output. Our per second stayed the same, but we're just firing in multiple directions, so that's a lot of big bullets going out. And regular arrows too, so we're actually firing 112 arrows per second in this particular moment. And given that our arrows pierce and bounce, that's going to help us out. You get one more choice for each upgrade and object selection. Yes, that's going to help me pick more speed upgrades. That one would have been much better to find at the beginning, but we weren't so lucky. Whatever the case, we got some fast shooting now, and it's only going to get faster. I'm already at the point where I can basically just hold still and nothing can really get to me. Projectiles maybe can, but they're pretty rare. Like there's one, but I just take a step upwards and we're good. Ooh, a Sasquatch or something thereabouts. Okay, we're going to let him run toward us with his big axe and murder him. Oh, I didn't see these other guys. I was so caught up in the Sasquatch golem. We're going to attract all our collectibles from further away. That's just going to save me having to walk. And look at that. It's already paying dividends. Your shots pierce to one more enemy. Yeah, we're going to take that. Now we have 2 times piercing. So we get 2 pierces and then 2 bounces. Right now, that's not that important. But when we get hordes of enemies, it's going to help to get that deep penetration. Well, at this point, we are doing over 10,000 damage per second. So that's pretty impressive. But we're going to see how much worse we can make it. I guess that's not factoring in critical hits or big bullets. So it's probably way over 10,000. Gain a lot more attack speed. Yes, I think I will. That added 3 arrows per second. Plus the rear firing, so it was really 6 arrows per second. This game's just starting to feel like a math test, really. These are an attack speed. Give me something better. A legendary damage upgrade will maybe work. We're going from 92 to 112. We're also being attacked by the devil. Luckily, we're firing a lot of arrows at him, so the devil dies in a hurry. Always target deputies. Gradually increase your damage and attack speed until it dies or is off-screen. So if one shows up, that's just going to make us attack even quicker and do more damage, so we're not going to struggle with bosses anymore. Not that we ever did. We're just not going to struggle with bosses, period. And I actually completely forgot about our critical hit explosions already. We're probably doing a lot of those. They're hard to see because they're not huge explosions right now. We're doing some damage for over 1,000 now. I see some big purple 1,000 readouts, I think from our big bullets. Gain a little bit of attack speed. Yes, that still adds like 2 arrows per second. That's insane. Okay, here comes the sheriff. Let's see how he likes the massive DPS we're doing. Oh, it's this guy. I have a horse too. Okay, we're very slow, so we got to watch out for his AoE. Aside from that, we can just kind of go like that, and he's too slow. We slow him down so he doesn't make it to us. Oh, he's also dying very quickly. Okay, so we just kind of casually walk around, and yeah, he's super dead. Oh, wait, let's take a step this way, and got him. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this part. So he's now off. He will rest in peace. Yeah, we'll see about that. Okay, don't touch the orbs, right? Don't touch the orbs. I had some trouble not touching the orbs. I was even saying it out loud as I was doing it. I don't know what's wrong with me. We definitely got a lot of damage going his way. The orbs are going to go back to him soon, but he will also be dead fairly soon. I think at this point we can get a little closer because the orbs are going to try and get to him. We just got to dodge them on the way in, which isn't that hard. We got to stay nice and close so we get all those arrows through him. It's also a dangerous spot to sit because he does have AoE damage. I didn't realize he also fires bullets at me while doing this. Not having a lot of movement speed is actually kind of hurting me here in a big way. Because this is just sort of annoying and like, okay, we are starting to panic a little bit. Can I have some health back? Okay, I think he's back to doing easy things. Yeah, as long as he's firing the orbs at me, we feel okay. Even his little sprays do so much damage. I just take a step and fire a bunch of arrows. Now he just rotates them so we can just launch all these arrows into him. Uh-oh. Oh, the game had a big hiccup there. Okay, his health is really dropping quickly. I'm pretty sure we can just tank through the rest of this. Yeah, got him. I honestly thought that would go a lot quicker. He's tougher than I thought. Okay, we're gonna take an invincible minion that moves slower than us but picks up stuff for us and also runs into people. Our movement speed is not likely to go up, so we might as well have someone else picking up our treasure for us. We got the moles that throw dynamite at us now, but that's fine. One of them apparently hit me there. Okay, we're gonna re-roll these into, there we go, there's some better options. We're just gonna raise AoE by 40% because I haven't upgraded that once yet. Or maybe I have actually. Whatever the case, that's gonna make our explosions a little bigger because there should be a lot of explosions going out there. Okay, here comes another devil, so now our attack speed and damage is gonna go up so long as he's on screen. We're also gonna focus him and him only, so our arrows are not gonna go to the enemies nearby. So that's gonna get kind of dangerous, but the damage will go up a lot. When one of your dash slots is ready, create a burst that does 100 damage, 100% damage in area around you, but that also adds a dash, which means it adds 5% crit chance when it's full. So when it is full, we now get a 39% crit chance, plus more attack speed. We're up to 64 per second. And of course, because we fire on both sides, it's actually double that. So we're at 128 arrows per second plus the big bullets. Okay, the problems happen when the bosses come in and my arrows focus him and not the important guys. We are going to take more damage at this point to go from 130 something to, well, 155 currently. We need to kill the mini bosses very quickly. Deals damage in an area around you before you dash. We gain 1 dash and therefore another 5% crit chance. The enemies are starting to get a little more intense. They're able to get actually quite close to us now, which I'm surprised with. I thought this attack speed would be absolutely melting everything for a long time. Okay, let's get a little bit more damage then. 122 to 129. Every little bit is certainly going to help. At the amount we're firing arrows to, every bit of damage is a huge DPS increase. And I am glad I'm firing behind us at this point. That way when the deputies or whatever show up, we're at least firing arrows behind us. But yeah, it's going to get rough when the deputies show up. I kind of wish I just had more straight up bouncing arrows, but we did manage to kill the deputy finally. So we're going to have an onion aura now that deals 25% damage to the idiots around me. That's going to help to keep me a little bit safer. Because at least if they get close, they will start taking damage and hopefully mostly die before they do physically touch me. Which leads us to more attack speed. 66.08 per second. And then we got to double that, so 132 per second. But I'm going to have to start moving more because, yeah, as soon as the deputies show up, we start focusing on them and not the enemies that are actually going to hurt us. So yeah, that's trouble. Especially when our movement speed is really slow, so we need to push the deputies off the screen so we can get back to killing regular morons, and this isn't even going to work. Okay, so we got to use some dash to get around, and we got to find some old hearts laying on the ground. We got to do something here because this isn't going to work. Who'd have thought that stacky attack speed like this was actually not going to be hugely overpowered? Well, we got up to 132 arrows per second, so that's nothing to complain about.